There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at Dubaieye1038.com.
Welcome back to Drive Live here on Dubaieye 103.8. Danny Norton and NLT, Natalie Lindo-Taylor, with you through for about another 55 minutes up until 7 o'clock this evening. Now, let's have a look at the latest from the ARN News Centre. And there's a bit of a need for blood donation in Dubai here. It's said to be higher than ever before. Health experts, they say that's because of the rapid expansion of the healthcare sector and growth in medical tourism to the Emirates. Dr. May Raouf is the director of the Dubai Blood Donation Centre and explains, speaking to ARN, explains some of the health benefits of giving blood.
There are certain benefits for the donor himself, especially if he donates on regular basis. And this include donating blood will stimulate the bone marrow in our body to produce a new cell that are active and new. In addition, it will reduce the incidence of stroke, heart stroke, and brain stroke, and this has been documented by researchers. And in addition, that those who have a high level of iron in the blood, like smokers and others, regular blood donation will reduce the excess of iron in their body. So there are lots of benefits for regular blood donation.
So the message is there's benefits to you too as a blood donor. Now, the Dubai Health Authority say they're taking steps to make it easier for people to donate blood in the Emirates. In addition to deploying more mobile clinics, they've also launched a new app called Dami, which makes it easier for people looking to donate blood, as Dr. May Raouf explains.
It has lots of educational material in it. It's beautiful with photos. You can have lots of information about eligibility criteria for donation, what are the medications that you should not donate blood if you are taking them, and where is the blood going. And in addition, the donor can complete part of his donation process by filling the questionnaire and register himself through the application. If he fill all the questionnaire while he is sitting at home or resting anywhere, then at the end of the filling the questionnaire, the application will give him a code. Then once he comes to the center or he goes to the mobile unit, it will be scanned and all the data will be transferred immediately to our system. And this will shorten the period of the process of donation by 20 minutes.
That's Dr. May Raouf, director of the Dubai Blood Donation Centre, talking about why it's such a good idea if you want to be a blood donor. But there's also an idea that if you are a blood donor, you can use an app. So if you want to donate blood, there's an easier way for you to look at how to do it now. This Dami app, Mohammed Solomon from the ARN News Centre was down here talking, and he was saying he's downloaded it. So he now has had a look at the app, and it's quite easy to follow. And it also can notify you if you've got a very rare blood type and there's someone in need, or there's an area where they particularly need a lot of blood, there's notifications to say, look, you've donated before, are you in a position to do it again? So that's getting the donations to the right people. Yeah,
and I think you summed it up yourself best earlier on, NLT, when you said, well, you use your smartphone now for everything. So I think it makes it so much easier to have an app there, because I think so many people are certainly eager to give blood but maybe unsure of how they can go about doing it. So to have that app there that gives them all the information is certainly the most efficient way of doing it. Okay, so let's move on now to talk about conservation, in a sense. It's been a bit of a buzzword, hasn't it, over the last couple of months? I know we've spoken to many people. We've had Sea Shepherd UAE here in the studio as well, talking about their work in the region. They've recently moved here. We've heard from Mohammed Solomon just a couple of hours ago to do with the latest clean-up drive along the coast anyway. But now divers here in the UAE, they're also being offered the opportunity to get involved in conservation. In particular, conservation around species of sharks that are under threat. It's through upcoming workshops in Fujairah and Abu Dhabi. They're being held by the Sharks Educational Institute. Earlier on today, I spoke to their executive director, Fernando Reis, and he explained to me about the importance of sharks in the marine ecosystem, the fact that in pretty much every single ocean on Earth, they are the ones at the very top of the food chain, and that depletion in the numbers and the potential extinction of some species could have some disastrous consequences for the whole system, even down to the plankton, which gives the Earth 70% of its oxygen. So everyone thinks about the Amazon being the key, the lungs of the Earth. No, it's really the oceans themselves. I also spoke to him specifically about the UAE's marine system and which sharks in the waters around the UAE are under threat.
Let me start by saying that the UAE waters are very rich in biodiversity. And about shark species, we can find also many shark species that are critically threatened of extinction. And of course, we must increase the awareness to protect these shark species. Our work, the Sharks Educational Institute, we have developed and we have a large experience all over the world of running especially shark diving workshops, mostly for divers, because we understand divers can be very important to share the message of the importance of conservation, marine conservation in general, and in particular, they understand the importance of sharks and the role sharks has in its marine ecosystem. Here in the UAE waters, we have two species that we are going to try to find in the workshop by the end of this month in Abu Dhabi. They are called bamboo sharks. One species, the Arabian bamboo shark, and the other species, the grey bamboo shark. They are very, very similar. They are very small sharks, and they have been classified more than 10 years ago as near threatened of extinction.
So what can be done then to protect them? What can authorities do? What can we as people do to help protect these species?
To answer very briefly to your question, there are two main targets to prevent and to increase the shark awareness. One of the targets are schools and the younger, and the other targets are the fishermen. There are different types of fishermen, and we understand fishermen need to fish to survive, of course. But we also would like to get in touch with fishermen here in UAE, even through their institutional associations and organizations, trying to also to promote among fishermen the needed educational event that they would appreciate. We have also this experience from Spain. We have developed, and from Portugal, we have developed some cooperation with the fishermen association. And usually they love to listen to us, and we also love to learn from them, because the fishermen, they know about the ocean. They are there every day, all their lives. So they could become our best partners to save the ocean and to protect sharks.
So that was Fernando Reis, the Executive Director of the Sharks Educational Institute, who are holding workshops in Fujairah. There's some taking place next weekend, so the 12th and 13th of January at Dibba in Fujairah, and then there's more taking place yet again on the 26th and 27th of January at the Beach Ratana Spa Hotel in Abu Dhabi. Now the workshops, they're going to start with a bit of a classroom kind of based activity, so you can understand the knowledge and the level of understanding of the divers themselves, and then you four divers will go down and actually be taught how to behave in the water and how to react when you're confronted by a shark. I mean, that word confronted there kind of says a lot. I'm not too sure if I'd like to be confronted by a shark anyway, but they'll be visiting renowned diving sites around the UAE, around Fujairah and Abu Dhabi, where sharks have been most recently spotted in the hopes of capturing a glint. Anyone who's interested, you can get in touch, info@sharksinstitute.org.
I was reading something quite recently, past few days anyway, about sharks and what to do if you are attacked by one or if one approaches you. And there were two experts talking. One was sort of a marine biologist type, another was sort of, I can't remember what they did, but different jobs, quite different jobs. And their advice was very, very different. One of them was, whatever it does, do not attack it. Another person was armed with whatever is in your hand. If it's going to bite you, hit it.
Yeah.
Hit it on the nose, hit it in the eyes. So that was quite interesting. If you are ever attacked by a shark, what you should do. Yeah,
and the general consensus, I think, is to hit it. That's certainly what I've always heard in the past. And there was that Australian surfer, wasn't there, who was about a year ago, who, was unfortunately attacked, but then just basically punched and kicked his way out of it, and he recovered fortunately, and then was back in the water. But I know certainly he spoke about how he had to try and hit it on the nose. They always say on the nose, don't they?
Well, apparently one of the guys said this hitting them on the nose thing isn't true. Yes, it's a sensitive part of them, but they said, remember, if you hit a shark on the nose and you miss, you're right next to the mouth. Yeah. So very valid point. Anyway, this is about shark conservation, not how to attack them if they attack you. It's a very different topic completely.
There we go. But certainly, important species anyway, aren't they? Obviously, people have this kind of Jaws-esque maybe fear of them, and like I think Samu texted earlier on pointed out, sharks on average kill 10 people a year. It's still 10 people too many, but when you consider, hundreds of millions are dying every year because of human activity. And certainly, like Fernando said there, if we lose them from the ecosystem, it's not going to be good news for us at all.
There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at dwindling1038.com.